This is not accidental. The very fact that your eyes fall upon these words in this precise moment is a deliberate connection, a whisper from the universe designed specifically for you. This message is not for the complacent, nor for those merely seeking comfort. No, this sacred invitation is for the chosen ones, for souls standing at the precipice of profound change, burdened by a weight that feels insurmountable. You are here because a hidden truth is about to be unveiled, a master key that promises to transform the chains of financial struggle into gates of overflowing abundance, scarcity into prosperity, and restless nights into an unshakable inner peace. For too long, the echoes of looming bills, the gnawing anxiety of a depleting bank account, and the silent dread of credit card statements have haunted your waking hours and stolen your sleep. Rent, loan payments, tuition fees, the upkeep of life itself, they press down, leaving you breathless, asking, if the money doesn't come this week, what then? This isn't just about numbers. It's about the erosion of your spirit, the chilling silence when you've prayed, hoped, tried everything, yet nothing shifts. It's the raw aching fear of that phone call from the bank, the late payment notice of the decision that could cost you your home, your stability, your very peace of mind. And in those deepest moments of despair, a chilling question pierces your soul. Have I been forgotten? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, then you are not lost. You are precisely where you are meant to be. This isn't just another prayer. It's an activation, a blueprint for reclaiming what has always been yours. It is not a shallow utterance to temporarily soothe your worries. No, this is a strategic invocation with a singular potent purpose to instantly infuse your mind with a profound sense of peace, to anchor your spirit amidst the storm, to ignite a blazing clarity that reveals opportunities once unseen, and to prepare your very being to receive the money, the solutions, the divine pathway that is not coming someday, but at the exact moment you need it most. So many pray, yet so few witness the breakthrough they crave. Here lies a truth rarely spoken. The many pray from a place of panic, of helplessness, inadvertently sending out a signal of, I am doomed, there is no way out. That fear, my friend, is a silent assassin of faith, a barrier to the very miracles you seek. This process will not leave you in that state. Today you do not kneel as a beggar. You rise as a sovereign being ready to reclaim your peace, your inherent position of power, your undeniable right to stand firm against any storm. Because when chaos reigns within, the doors that are opening right before your eyes remain invisible. When you are fixated on the fear of loss, the solution already so close becomes a ghost. Stay with me, and I promise your breathing will slow, the suffocating grip of worry will loosen, and a crystal clear vision will begin to emerge. This is not some random magic. It is your mind being meticulously recalibrated, returned to its rightful, powerful position. From this elevated stance, every resource, every golden opportunity, every inspired solution will effortlessly gravitate towards you. Remember this fundamental truth. Money is far more than a mere number. It is inextricably linked to your peace, your confidence, your capacity for clear decision-making. To panic is to invite weakness. To stand firm is to open the floodgates of good fortune. This journey is designed to fortify your stand with money, and from there, every other aspect of your life will meticulously reorder itself. This is just the beginning. In the next profound revelation, you will discover the insidious ways a victim mindset unconsciously repels abundance, and how a simple yet monumental shift in your inner posture can instantly redirect the river of financial flow. If you have ever whispered to yourself, maybe I don't deserve it, or money isn't meant for me, prepare for those debilitating beliefs to be shattered into dust. This journey did not appear in your life by accident. It is a destiny unfolding. The journey you've begun is a sacred unraveling of old patterns, a dismantling of the very walls you unknowingly built around your potential. If you've stayed with me thus far, it is because you crave more than fleeting comfort. You demand understanding. You've prayed, hoped, strived, yet the financial currents of your life seem perpetually stagnant. Many believe the answer lies in more prayer, better words, deeper sincerity, or endless patience. But the profound truth, the one that can change everything, lies not in the quantity of your prayers, but in the quality of your internal state when you utter them. This is the master key. If you fail to grasp this, you are destined to repeat the same old rituals, forever chasing a new outcome that perpetually eludes you. Be brutally honest with yourself when you've prayed for money in the past. What was the dominant emotion fueling those pleas? Was it worry-crushing fear, paralyzing pressure, or an overwhelming sense of helplessness? You prayed from a mind in panic, from a spirit cowering in fear of losing everything from your weakest point. And in that diminished state, what you were truly broadcasting was not faith, but fear. Fear in its insidious whisper constantly reiterates, if there's no money, everything collapses. If there's no way out, I will fail. If no milestone appears, I will lose it all. When you pray from this dos's vibrational frequencies, you are inadvertently blocking the very solutions that are already pulsating around you, waiting to be recognized. The deafening silence you've experienced is not rejection. It's a profound call to reposition yourself. Many mistakenly believe that, because their prayers went unanswered, they've been forgotten. But listen closely. Silence does not equate to abandonment. More often than not, silence is a divine pause, a signal that you are not yet in the optimal state to receive. Imagine a desperate soul panicking, drowning in fear. Even with an open door or a lifeline right before them, their agitated state renders it invisible, unobtainable. It's not that the provision doesn't exist. It's that your inner world is too noisy to perceive the subtle guidance. This is precisely why the peace is not merely a desirable outcome, but the indispensable first step. Before any external manifestation of money or solutions can appear, an internal shift must occur. Peace must return. And not a peace contingent upon money's arrival, but an unshakable peace before it manifests. For it is only when your mind is calm that you can perceive the larger tapestry, discern your next strategic move, and recognize the allies and opportunities emerging to support you. This journey is not about escaping your reality. It is about equipping you to confront it from a place of unassailable strength and unwavering clarity. It's the monumental transition from a mindset of victimhood to one of unwavering responsibility. This truth, though challenging, is liberating. To perpetually pray from a victim's stance is to forever feel tossed by circumstances, powerless, a mere pawn in fate's game. And in that diminished state, solutions always appear to originate from beyond your reach. But today, that archaic paradigm begins to crumble, not through forced strength or pretense, but through a profound realization. You still hold the sacred right to choose your response. You still possess the inherent power to stand firm. You still retain the sovereign right to alter your perspective. This new mindset doesn't promise an easy path, but it declares with absolute conviction, no matter the intensity of the challenge, my clarity remains unwavering. You don't need to be perfect, wealthy, or flawlessly talented. You only need to do one potent thing right now. Stop. Breathe deeply. And allow your magnificent mind to stabilize once more. When you cease chasing the phantom of fear, it loses its tyrannical grip on your decisions. And in that liberated space, your prayers ascend not from panic, but from a citadel of inner strength. When you pray from peace, you unlock hidden doors, receive flashes of brilliant insight, encounter serendipitous connections, and make decisions imbued with profound wisdom. The current begins to shift. The moment you commit to this inner recalibration, something profound awakens within. You become a beacon drawing towards you, the very resources and solutions that were previously obscured by the fog of anxiety. This is the decisive shift, the very hinge point, where a life defined by circumstance transforms into a destiny guided by intention, the monumental transition from victim to heir. Many embark on this journey, absorbing the initial wisdom, but only a select few are truly prepared for the alchemical shift that Part 3 demands. For this is not merely about intellectual understanding, it is about embodying a new posture, and a change in posture always without fail orchestrates a monumental change in results. What then is this insidious victim mindset? It is not inherent weakness, but a psychological labyrinth, forged in the crucible of repeated setbacks, losses, and relentless pressure. It whispers insidious lies. I tried, but it was never enough. I am always last in line. Money is eternally a struggle for me. Opportunities perpetually bypass my door. And with each new challenge, this deeply ingrained program automatically activates fear, withdrawal, suffocating self-doubt. But the most perilous lie it spins is this: it makes you believe that lack, limitation, and struggle are your intrinsic nature. Here is a truth so raw, so potent, that few dare to utter it aloud. Money does not avoid you because you are unworthy or inadequate. Money is blocked by an inner state, perpetually trapped in a primal mode of survival. When your entire being is consumed by merely surviving, your vision becomes myopic. You cannot strategize. You cannot seize audacious opportunities. You cannot make expansive decisions. And every prayer, every desperate plea whispered from that state carries an unspoken message: I am lacking. I am afraid. I am weak. This is not a moment for self-blame, but for profound recognition, so you can choose to halt the cycle. Now, who is the heir? An heir is not defined by inherited wealth. An heir is defined by an unshakable knowing of their inherent position. An heir understands that life, while often challenging, is not solely a relentless chain of suffering. An heir holds an unwavering conviction that abundant provision has already been meticulously prepared for them, not because they are flawless, but because they refuse to see themselves as forgotten. An heir acknowledges hardship, but refuses to allow hardship to dictate their identity or destiny. And in this very moment, you are being invited not simply to observe, but to step decisively into that powerful resonant position. The moment of true transformation begins now. No dramatic external miracle is required, no immediate shift in your outer world. The transformation ignites within a very small sacred space, the moment you pause, look yourself in the eye and declare, I will no longer react the old way. I will not let fear be my master. I refuse to see myself as one who merely endures. I am learning how to stand firm. I am learning how to see with crystalline clarity. I am learning how to receive openly and fully. This pivotal moment, though seemingly fragile, is the indelible dividing line between your past struggles and the magnificent tapestry of your unfolding future. This step is an absolute non-negotiable for your financial flow. Money, you see, is not just currency. It is a resonant response from the universe to your inner state. When you are steeped in the victim mindset, you inadvertently attract situations that force you into a perpetual state of defense. But when you begin to stand in the radiant mindset of an heir, you initiate a magnetic attraction to entirely different signals. A helper appears whom you once overlooked. An opportunity materializes that you would have once dismissed as impossible. A brilliant idea sparks within you that you previously thought unattainable. Not because the external world has magically changed, but because you have fundamentally changed your position within it. Now, for this profound shift to truly anchor, I invite you to take a moment. Place your hand on your chest, feel the steady beat of your heart, and read these words slowly, allowing each one to resonate deep within your soul. I acknowledge that I have lived for a long time in the shadow of fear. I have become accustomed to protecting myself by shrinking, by withdrawing. But today, I grant myself permission to step resolutely out of that diminished position. I do not reject my past, for it has shaped me, but I emphatically refuse to carry its burdens into my future. I choose to stand here now in profound peace, with unwavering clarity, and with the unshakable belief that I have not been and never will be forgotten. I step with certainty into the position of the heir, one who knows deep within their bones that provision is not a random occurrence, but an integral destined part of this magnificent journey. Understand this. Immediately after this profound declaration, a subtle resistance may arise. A familiar small voice might whisper, "Stop imagining things. This isn't that simple. Money doesn't just appear." Recognize this insidious whisper for what it is: the dying echo of an old habit, a last-ditch effort from the past trying to reclaim its territory. You do not need to engage in a battle with it. You simply choose not to follow its lead any longer. This internal shift, this change in posture, is the very bedrock, the indispensable foundation upon which any sustainable financial flow can finally enter your life. Without this fundamental shift, you can pray endlessly, yet remain trapped in the same vitals. With this shift, even the smallest opening is enough to redirect the entire river of your financial destiny. The momentum is now rising. From this pivotal moment forward, your prayers will no longer emanate from a place of panic, but from a new powerful position, the position of one who stands firm, who is ready to embrace responsibility, who no longer flees from their own potential. And it is precisely here, in this sacred space of certainty, that the true flow begins to surge. What comes next? If you believe a change in posture is enough, you might be tempted to stop here. But if you are truly committed to a complete metamorphosis of your financial reality, there is one more vital step: the courageous act of severing the invisible chains that have, until now, silently drained your resources and clouded your clarity. Prepare yourself, for the next phase will be about cutting off fear, debt, and the relentless grip of anxiety and pressure, the silent architects of your blocked financial flow. If our last conversation was your sacred step onto the threshold of transformation, then this moment is about directly confronting the unseen force that have, until now, held you captive. We're not talking about vague problems or general concepts. We are facing the invisible chains that have been quietly tightening their grip on your financial flow, day and night. Chains that many never dare to name, much less sever. The first and most pervasive chain is fear. Fear rarely vanishes entirely. It merely shapeshifts, adopting new disguises. It whispers, "Spend a little more and everything will crumble. Make one wrong move and you're finished. If money doesn't arrive this time, it's the end." This insidious voice keeps you in a perpetual state of alert, always defensive, always tense. And in this contracted state, your mind becomes a barren landscape devoid of space to receive guidance, clarity, or opportunity. Understand this with absolute precision. Fear does not protect you. It systematically drains your vital energy, leaving you depleted and vulnerable. The second equally binding chain is debt. Debt is not merely a number on a statement. It is a suffocating psychological pressure. Each time its shadow falls upon your thoughts, you may feel a crushing weight in your chest. Your breath shortens. Your mind freezes. Debt perpetuates the narrative: "I have failed. I am incapable of managing money. I will always get it wrong." And when you carry these condemning thoughts into your prayers, you are not praying from a foundation of faith, but from a scaffold of self-condemnation. No true flow, no sustainable abundance can enter when a soul sees itself solely as a debtor. The third relentlessly pushing chain is time pressure. This chain whispers urgently, "It's almost late. It's too late. There is no time left." This relentless pressure compels you to make panicked decisions, and every decision born of panic leaves a trail of undesirable consequences. You begin to grasp at short-term fixes, compromising your values, sacrificing long-term gain for immediate fleeting relief. You miss genuine opportunities because the fear of waiting outweighs the wisdom of patience. Time pressure does not accelerate the arrival of money. It only accelerates your exhaustion and weakens your resolve. Today, my friend, you stop running. This moment is not about comforting you. It is about empowering you to halt the relentless pursuit, to recognize that for far too long, you have been living under the tyranny of guidance that is not truly your own. And now, you will do something radically different. You don't need to shout. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You simply need to stand firm, unfurling in your resolve. Now, in this space of newfound certainty, I invite you to say this prayer of cutting off slowly, allowing each word to resonate with the deepest part of your being. I acknowledge that fear has, for too long, dictated many of my decisions. I acknowledge that the crushing weight of pressure and debt has held me captive in a tightened, suffocating state. But today, I emphatically refuse to accept this any longer. I choose to stop, not to run, not to panic, but to stand firm. I consciously sever the tyrannical control of fear. I silence the insidious voice of self-condemnation. I cut off the relentless pressure of time that has been relentlessly pushing me down. I allow peace to return to flow through every fiber of my being. And from this unshakable position of peace, I will see the path ahead with absolute clarity. The moment of silence that follows this prayer is profoundly significant. It is not an emptiness, but a sacred pause. For perhaps the first time in a long while, your mind is no longer being torn in 1,000 directions. This silence is essential, for it is only within this stillness that true divine guidance can be distinctly heard. The financial flow has already begun to subtly shift. You may not witness money appearing instantly, but an internal alchemy has irrevocably changed. You are no longer led by fear. You are no longer merely reacting from old conditioned instincts. And it is precisely this internal liberation that opens the floodgates for the external flow. Every single time you refuse to let fear make a decision for you, you loosen another knot in your financial flow. Every time you consciously choose calm, the channels of abundance widen a little more. This is an indispensable step one that cannot be bypassed. Without this brave act of cutting off any prayer for money, no matter how fervent, will be sabotaged by lingering fear. You cannot simultaneously open a door while stubbornly holding it shut. What comes next is an often underestimated yet incredibly powerful activation point, a small deliberate action with a monumental impact. It is the act of sealing your commitment, a confirmation that ignites and accelerates the flow that is now opening. If you believe faith is merely a feeling, the next step will reveal that true faith must always be sealed by tangible action. You have journeyed far, not as a passive observer, but as an active participant in your destiny. And in this transformed position, there is one solitary force that determines whether the flow of abundance continues its surge or grinds to a halt: your unwavering commitment. Understanding, while vital, is never enough. Many hear these profound truths, feel a lightness in their spirit, a newfound calm in their minds, only to then disengage, returning to the gravitational pull of their old lives. Consequently, the precious flow they briefly experienced slowly dissipates. Not because the message was flawed, but because they failed to seal it with decisive action. The undeniable truth is that every genuine transformation demands a concrete point of confirmation. Without this anchor, the mind will dismiss everything as a fleeting emotion, a temporary high. What then is this potent commitment? It is not a grandiose promise whispered into the void, nor a solemn vow burdened by expectation. Commitment in its most powerful form is a concrete action, however small, yet clear, and resolute enough to declare to yourself, to your subconscious, and to the universe, I have truly irrevocably stepped into this new phase. This is the pivotal moment where you transcend mere belief and express that belief outwardly into the tangible realm. The sheer power of a small action, strategically executed, cannot be overstated. Your magnificent mind does not differentiate between monumental actions and hollow ones. It only registers whether you take action or not. When you perform a specific conscious act, your mind automatically rewrites its internal programming. A new decision has been made. From that precise instant, it begins to meticulously adjust your behaviors, your thoughts, and your focus to align with that fresh, powerful directive. This is why a seemingly insignificant action, performed at the right time, possesses the alchemical power to shift an entire flow. Sealing your commitment is not about proving anything to anyone else. It is not for public display or praise. It is a sacred act for you, so that you know deep within your bones that you are no longer merely standing at the periphery. You have stepped courageously, decisively into the epicenter of your transformation. Now, with conviction born of your journey, let us engage in the sealing prayer. Read slowly, letting each word resonate within your soul. I acknowledge that in the past I have many times hoped for change, but hesitated to go all the way. I acknowledge that many times I stopped because the fear of failing again felt too overwhelming. But today I choose to act differently, to align my intention with decisive action. I seal this profound decision not with a fleeting promise, but with a concrete, tangible action. I do not need to see the entire winding path before me. I only need the courage to take the very first step. And this first step is my sacred sign, my unwavering declaration that I am truly ready to receive. The moment your mind shifts right after you take this step of commitment, you may feel a subtle change. It might not be dramatic or loud, but rather a quiet, undeniable knowing that you are no longer an outsider looking in. This feeling is immensely important. It is the first confirmation, the undeniable signal that the flow you've sought has been confirmed. The timing of this seal is crucial. Placed too early, the belief hasn't fully solidified. Placed too late, the powerful momentum of the flow can be lost. This very moment is the point of perfect balance. It confirms that you didn't just listen, you chose. But this is not yet the zenith of your transformation. This step is merely a marker, a powerful waypoint. After this marker, the momentum will accelerate with breathtaking speed. For once, you have sealed your commitment. You are no longer a passive observer. You are an active, powerful participant in your unfolding journey. What comes next? You will enter another prayer, a potent activation, stronger, more direct, and laser-focused on one specific magnificent outcome, opening the floodgates to doors of opportunity and the concrete financial flow that has until now been inexplicably blocked. If the previous steps were about hitting off resistance and confirming intent, then this next phase is the triumphant beginning of release. If you have arrived at this pinnacle moment, a crucial truth must be articulated with absolute clarity. Everything you have diligently undertaken so far has not been mere emotional preparation. It has been a meticulous positioning. And positioning, my friend, must always precede profound movement. Far too many souls offer prayers for financial breakthrough, yet never consciously alter their internal position. They beseech doors to open while remaining frozen in old patterns, hoping for opportunities while standing miles away from the very threshold. Today, that changes. This is the sacred moment where meticulous preparation blossoms into powerful activation. Why do some financial doors remain stubbornly closed for what feels like an eternity? It is not because you are inherently unworthy or undeserving. They remain closed because the cosmic elements of summing alignment and internal readiness must converge. A golden door can stand directly before you for years, yet, if you are not consciously positioned, poised to walk through it, it remains utterly invisible. Opportunities you see rarely announce themselves with fanfare or a drumroll. They arrive quietly disguised as a casual conversation, a sudden flash of insight, an unexpected invitation, or a moment of profound clarity. Fear in its cunning blocks your recognition. Pressure in its intensity clouds your discernment. Desperation in its urgency eclipses your inherent wisdom. This is precisely why every step we have taken until this moment has mattered. For now, you are calm enough to truly see. Now you are steady enough to courageously move. This prayer, therefore, is not about violently forcing results into existence. This is a crucial distinction. You are not here to strong-arm money. You are here to gracefully allow what is already moving towards you, what has already been ordained to arrive without any internal resistance. When panic gracefully exits, profound clarity floods in. When clarity embraces your being, doors respond, sensing your readiness. This prayer is not about frantically chasing opportunities. It is about positioning yourself, refining your internal compass, so that opportunities, in their infinite wisdom, recognize you. Before we delve into this powerful prayer, absorb this truth. Money in its most consistent form often arrives through people, through diligently built systems, and through the embrace of expanded responsibility. Many miss their monumental breakthrough because they are passively waiting for wealth to fall from the heavens, all while steadfastly ignoring the very doors that demand courage, strategic thinking, and decisive action to walk through. This prayer will not render you passive. It will render you exquisitely aware of the moment of activation. Take a profound breath. Let your shoulders gently relax. Allow the urgency that once gripped you to soften into a powerful, serene readiness. Now speak these words slowly, deliberately, either aloud or deep within your spirit. I choose to be fully, utterly present in this sacred moment. I consciously release the suffocating tension that has relentlessly clouded my vision. I release the insidious fear that has narrowed my thinking. I allow clarity to return brilliantly. I allow wisdom to rise powerfully. I allow direction to become vividly visible before me. Prayer for open doors. God of infinite provision and divine order, I come before you, now not in panic, but in unwavering trust. Not in desperation, but in profound readiness. I ask with the full power of my transformed being that every door connected to my destined provision be unmistakably revealed. Doors of meaningful employment, doors of expansive opportunity, doors of exponential increase, doors of complete restoration. If there are doors I have in my past been afraid to approach, infuse me with unwavering courage. If there are doors I have ignorantly overlooked, open my eyes to their gleaming presence. And if there are doors that are no longer aligned with my highest path, gently, definitively close them, so I do not squander my precious strength and focus. Prayer for favor and connection. I pray now for divine favor in every conversation I have yet to enter, in every meeting I have yet to attend, in every pivotal decision being made right now that involves my name, my reputation, my destiny. I pray that the right people, the divinely appointed connections, effortlessly recognize my inherent value. May my words carry profound weight, and may my presence effortlessly open pathways instead of encountering resistance. Remove all misunderstandings, dissolve all delays caused by past confusion. Eradicate all obstacles that were born of fear or past mistakes, setting my path ablaze with clarity. Prayer for income and increase. I pray for income that is not only abundant, but sustainable, for work that is in perfect alignment with my highest capacity and deepest purpose, for an increase that expands my life without ever diminishing my profound peace. I ask that opportunities to earn, to grow, and to build a lasting legacy be released into my sphere, not from one singular source only, but from multiple appropriate streams of abundance. Not a rushed, fleeting gain, but a stable, consistent, and overflowing provision. Teach me the wisdom of when to say a resounding yes, when to patiently wait, and when to gracefully walk away, trusting in a higher plan. This prayer, my friend, matters right now because it doesn't futilely fight against reality. It aligns with it perfectly. You are no longer begging for temporary relief. You are meticulously preparing to receive responsibility, and responsibility in its purest form is often the very doorway to boundless provision. Something profound is shifting. You may not feel dramatic fireworks, but instead, an exquisite clarity may settle upon you. A thought that feels calm yet firm, an idea that feels utterly simple, yet undeniably right, a quiet sense that something magnificent is subtly unfolding. Do not dismiss these sacred internal signals. That, my friend, is precisely how doors begin to open. Stay acutely alert after this prayer. Pay attention to emails, to serendipitous conversations, to ideas that surface without force. Do not rush, but do not freeze. Respond from this newfound clarity, never from the old paradigm of fear. This is merely the radiant dawn of your release. Doors opening are not the final stage. They are the first visible, undeniable sign that a profound divine alignment has finally occurred. The journey you are on is a testament to your courage, a sacred walk towards reclaiming your inherent power. Now, we must address the most subtle, yet potent barrier that often prevents even the most resolute souls from stepping through the open doors they've prayed for: internal resistance. Many genuinely believe their financial woes stem from closed doors. But the profound truth for countless individuals is that the doors have already swung open. What arrests their progress, what halts their magnificent movement, is not a lack of external opportunity, but the insidious whisper of internal resistance. Fear, you see, does not always bellow. Sometimes it speaks in dulcet tones, cloaked in reason, sounding like sickly caution. This, my friend, is the most perilous form of fear. Fear rarely commands an outright halt. Instead, it insidiously suggests, wait. Wait until you feel more confident. Wait until you are perfectly prepared. Wait until you are absolutely certain this will work. And while you passively wait, opportunities, like fleeting whispers in the wind, gracefully move on without you. Fear cunningly disguises itself as prudence, as wisdom, as realism. But beneath these deceptive veils, it remains the same old adversary: fear. Why does fear intensify? Precisely after doors begin to open, after progress has been initiated. This is a vital truth. When nothing is happening, there is little to lose. But when movement begins, when genuine risk appears on the horizon, fear amplifies its voice. What if this fails? What if I am embarrassed? What if this success is merely fleeting? What if I cannot sustain it? Fear emerges not because you are weak, but because something profoundly valuable, something truly magnificent is now within your grasp. The cost of staying still, though it feels momentarily safe, carries a hidden devastating price. It costs you momentum. It erodes your precious confidence. It systematically diminishes your self-trust. Every single time you hesitate when clarity is present, you inadvertently instruct your magnificent mind to doubt its own capacity. And over time, hesitation metastasizes into a debilitating habit. This prayer, this sacred invocation, is here to shatter that suffocating cycle, initiating a necessary, powerful shift. Before we take another step forward, accept this liberating truth. Courage does not precede action. Courage follows action. Confidence is not a prerequisite for progress. It is a glorious result of taking action. If you perpetually wait to feel ready, you may well wait for an eternity. Movement, my friend, is the catalyst that creates readiness. Now let us engage in the prayer to release internal resistance. Pause for a moment. Feel your breath settle into a rhythmic calm. Allow your thoughts to slow, like a tranquil river. Now speak these words with unvarnished honesty, allowing their truth to penetrate your very core. I acknowledge the fear that resides within me. I do not deny its presence. I do not fight against it. But with every fiber of my being, I choose to no longer allow it to lead my path. I release the debilitating need to feel perfect before taking a single step forward. I release the insidious belief that past failures define my inherent worth. I silence the voice that commands me to shrink, to retreat, when an opportunity radiant and vital appears before me. I choose movement over paralysis. I choose progress over the illusion of perfection. I choose unwavering courage over the false comfort of stagnation. Self-sabotage, that cunning adversary, often manifests as delay. You meticulously plan, yet never initiate. You endlessly research, yet never decide. You endlessly await a confirmation that never arrives. This is not a lack of discipline. It is a deeply ingrained protective mechanism born of past pain. But what once protected you may now be mercilessly limiting you. This prayer marks a profound turning point. Now for decisive action. Prayer for decisive action. God of boundless wisdom and indomitable strength, I humbly ask for the unwavering ability to act decisively when clarity is present. Not reckless action, not rushed action born of panic, but obedient, intentional movement guided by your light. Help me, I pray, to instantly recognize when hesitation is merely fear in disguise and not true wisdom. Help me to implicitly trust the clarity that has already been bestowed upon me. Remove the crushing weight of past failures from my decisions today. They no longer define who I am, nor what I am capable of. I am free. Provision. My friend often responds to movement, not frantic, desperate flailing, but intentional, deliberate steps taken in unfreeing faith. When you move, resources magically rearrange themselves. When you move, crucial connections activate in synchronous harmony. When you move, clarity deepens, revealing insights previously hidden. This is why stillness for you must end here. What you may feel after this prayer will likely not be a dramatic surge of emotion. Instead, anticipate a quiet, unshakable resolve, a firm willingness to act without requiring complete certainty, a profound sense that delay no longer feels safe, no longer feels like an option, that, my friend, is undeniable progress. Financial breakthrough, you see, is not sustained by fleeting emotion. It is anchored by unwavering discipline. Simple actions repeated consistently. Showing up, following through, responding proactively instead of retreating into fear. This prayer doesn't absolve you of responsibility. It profoundly strengthens your capacity to courageously carry it. The internal shift is now complete. You have journeyed from fear to awareness, from awareness to crystalline clarity, from clarity to profound readiness. Now, my friend, comes the exhilarating phase of execution, and execution undeniably changes outcomes. What comes next is the powerful declaration that releases financial flow. For once, fear no longer controls your movement. Provision accelerates with breathtaking speed. You have reached a sacred turning point. Every breath, every thought, every intentional step taken until this very moment has been a meticulous preparation. Panic has gracefully yielded to calm. Confusion has been replaced by crystalline clarity. Hesitation has given way to decisive movement. Now the time has come for declaration. A declaration, my friend, is far more than mere wishful thinking. It is an alignment spoken aloud, a potent vibrational statement. What is declared with unwavering clarity and profound conviction has the power to irrevocably change direction, to carve new pathways in the very fabrics of your reality. What truly is a declaration? It is not begging for scraps. It is not an arrogant demand. It is not an attempt to force outcomes into existence. A declaration is a powerful, harmonious agreement with universal order. When your words resonate with clarity, movement effortlessly follows. When your words echo fear, resistance inevitably grows. This is why declaration in its divine wisdom always follows preparation. You are no longer speaking from a place of panic. You are speaking from a position of absolute unshakable power. Why do words hold such monumental importance in the flow of your financial destiny? Words do not magically create money from thin air. They create direction. Direction in turn dictates your decisions. And your decisions, my friend, ultimately determine your outcomes. When your words change, your entire life's financial pattern shifts irrevocably. This declaration, meticulously crafted, is designed to reset the very direction of your financial life, empowering you to chart a new abundant course. Prepare yourself now for this potent declaration. Before you speak, pause. Feel the serene steadiness pulsating through your body. Notice the tranquil rhythm of your breathing. Recognize deep within that you are not rushing. You are profoundly ready. Now speak these words slowly, deliberately, with every fiber of your being. The declaration. I declare that confusion no longer governs my financial decisions. I declare that fear no longer controls my actions. I stand resolute in clarity. I stand empowered in responsibility. I stand unwavering in readiness. I declare that opportunities, perfectly aligned with my highest provision, are now vividly visible to me. I declare that doors specifically prepared for my abundant journey are opening precisely at the right divine time. I release all resistance. I release all delay caused by doubt and hesitation. I release all habits that have kept me small and constrained. I receive divine direction with calm confidence. I receive opportunities without panic. I receive abundant provision without shame or unworthiness. Declaration for financial movement. I declare that my diligent work produces immense value. I declare that my focused effort is recognized, honored, and abundantly compensated. I declare that my compensation increases proportionally with my expanding capacity and my embrace of greater responsibility. I declare that income flows to me through honest, ethical, and abundant channels. I declare that stability triumphantly replaces instability. I declare that consistency vanquishes anxiety. I do not chase money. I align effortlessly with abundant provision. Declaration for debt and pressure. I declare that debt no longer defines my identity or limits my potential. I declare that pressure no longer dictates my inherent worth. I declare that ingenious solutions are forming and manifesting, even when unseen, working powerfully in my favor. I declare that all negotiations favor clarity, fairness, and my highest good. I release the heavy burden of carrying everything alone. I openly accept support, profound wisdom, and divine assistance when it is offered to me. Declaration for timing and patience. I declare that I am not late. My journey unwinds with perfect divine timing. I declare that my progress unfolds with sacred purpose and precision. I do not rush decisions born from fear. I do not delay actions born from clarity. I implicitly trust the divine timing of every step placed before me. I move forward naively when it is time to breathe. This declaration, my friend, stands apart. It works because it is deeply grounded in reality, yet it radically reframes your perception of it. You are not pretending problems cease to exist. You are declaring with the full weight of your being that they no longer control your direction, your destiny. This, my friend, is true authority. What you may notice after speaking this declaration will be subtle, yet profound. You may feel a lightness, a laser-like focus, a quiet, unshakable resolve. You may also experience a heightened awareness, ideas that feel practically brilliant, options that feel realistically attainable, conversations that suddenly resonate with profound significance. Do not dismiss these sacred signs. For the flow, my friend, always begins with recognition. After this powerful declaration, guard your language with fierce intention. Speak in unwavering alignment with clarity. Avoid at all costs reinforcing fear through careless words. You do not need to convince the world. You only need unwavering consistency within your own magnificent self. The flow, I assure you, has begun. This declaration does not mark the end of your journey. It accelerates it with breathtaking speed. Movement becomes smoother. Decisions become simpler. Resistance loses its tyrannical strength. What comes next declaration releases flow, but flow must also be consciously received. In the next pivotal stage, you will learn how to remain open without succumbing to the old pressure, how to receive without the insidious grip of guilt, and how to allow abundant provision to arrive in your life without unconscious sabotage. At this profound stage, a subtle, yet utterly critical transition must now occur. Up until this moment, our journey has meticulously focused on preparation, alignment, movement, and powerful declaration. Now the lens shifts powerfully to the art of receiving. Receiving, though it sounds passive, annealing, but it demands a profound state of readiness. Countless souls pray fervently for provision, yet when it begins its graceful arrival, they unknowingly, unconsciously resist it. This is why this next phase is of paramount importance. For those who have endured long seasons of financial pressure, receiving can feel deeply unsettling, even unfamiliar. Stress for so long became the uncomfortable norm. Struggle morphed into a twisted identity. And so when peace begins to settle, it can feel strangely suspicious. As provision starts to gently appear, the mind conditioned by past pain often begins to whisper anxious questions. What if this doesn't last? What if I lose it all again? Do I truly deserve this abundance? What if I make a catastrophic mistake? These fleeting thoughts, my friend, are not signals that something is amiss. They are merely the understandable echoes of a profound internal transition underway, a testament to the old self's last attempts to cling to what is known. There exists a crucial distinction between wanting and receiving. Wanting emanates from a place of perceived lack, of a reaching, grasping energy. Receiving, however, flows from a state of grounded readiness, of expansive openness. When you want, you are actively pursuing. When you receive, you are gracefully opening. And this opening, my friend, demands trust. Not a blind, naive trust, but a deeply grounded, intelligent trust. Trust that you possess the inherent capacity to wisely manage what is now arriving. Trust that you are more than capable of stewarding this abundant provision with grace and integrity. This next prayer will profoundly strengthen that unwavering trust within your very core. Now let us engage in the prayer to release resistance to receiving. Pause for a moment. Gently notice any lingering tension in your magnificent body. Feel any tightness in your chest or shoulders. Acknowledge its presence. Now speak these words with profound calm and absolute conviction. I release the ingrained belief that struggle is my normal, destined state. I release the fear that peace once found will not last. I allow abundant provision to arrive in my life without any suspicion, without any doubt. I allow support to flow to me without the insidious grip of guilt. I allow stability to anchor itself within me without any self-judgment or critique. I accept fully and completely that receiving is an indispensable part of my growth. I accept with untiring certainty that I am capable of holding and wisely managing all the abundance that now comes my way. Guilt, you see, is a hidden, insidious barrier. Some feel a deep-seated guilt for receiving more than others. Some feel unworthy of rest after years of relentless struggle. Some feel an unspoken guilt for finally enjoying the sweet embrace of stability. But guilt, my friend, creates a powerful leakage. It drains your nascent confidence. It subtly invites anxiety back into your newly found peace. Provision is not meant to be a source of shame. It is designed to restore balance, to elevate, to empower. This prayer is your sacred act of removing that formidable barrier. Now, a prayer for healthy stewardship. Receiving is not solely about allowing money to arrive, It is more profoundly about managing it with wisdom, discernment, and intention. Pray with absolute focus. God of infinite wisdom and divine order, teach me, I pray, how to steward with grace and integrity all that I now receive. Grant me crystalline clarity in every financial decision. Infuse me with wise restraint when needed. Bestow upon me discipline unburdened by fear. Help me to plan with foresight, never with panic. Help me to save with purpose, never with hoarding. Help me to give with generosity, never with depletion. Let this abundant provision strengthen my profound peace, never replace it. Gratitude, my friend, is not a denial of your past struggles. It is a powerful recognition of your monumental progress. When gratitude permeates your being, fear loses its debilitating influence. Gratitude anchors your mind firmly in the present moment, preventing your imagination from veering back into worst-case scenarios. This is precisely why gratitude is the steadfast anchor that stabilizes your financial flow. Now, a prayer of gratitude. Take a deep, expansive breath. Now acknowledge with profound sincerity all that has already shifted. I give boundless thanks for the clarity that has triumphantly returned to my life. I give thanks for the powerful movement that has unequivocally begun. I give thanks for the doors that are now opening quietly, surely. I give thanks for the brilliant ideas that are forming within me. I give thanks for the unwavering support that is now appearing. I give thanks for peace that has replaced the suffocating pressure. I recognize and celebrate progress, even before its ultimate completion. This must be profoundly understood. Sabotage often follows breakthrough. When genuine improvement begins to manifest, the conditioned mind strangely sometimes attempts to revert to what is familiar. Chaos feels predictable. Struggle feels known. And so the mind may subtly attempt to recreate the old urgency, the old drama. This, my friend, is not failure. It is sabotage. But your newfound awareness breaks the cycle. Now, a prayer to maintain alignment. Speak with unwavering steadiness. I remain grounded, resolute, as abundant provision arrives in my life. I do not rush. I do not retreat. I respond thoughtfully with conscious intention. I act responsibly with integrity. I stay impeccably aligned with clarity. I do not allow fear in any guise to reclaim its control over me. Staying open, my friend, does not mean waiting anxiously, breathlessly. It means remaining available, receptive, without forcing any outcomes. Continue living responsibly. Continue making wise, conscious choices. Continue listening for that subtle inner direction. Provision in its most magnificent form flows best through calm, clear channels. Acquire confirmation. At this sacred stage, confirmation may arrive subtly. A conversation that feels divinely timed, an idea that feels profoundly practical, an opportunity that feels utterly manageable. These are signs of unwavering stability, not chaos. Receive them with profound calm. What this stage prepares you for is permanence. Temporary relief is fleeting. Stable, consistent provision, however, endures. This prayer meticulously trains your mind to sustain improvement, to welcome and embrace continuity. The flow, my friend, is stabilized. You may notice less urgency, more a profound clarity, acute, unshakable confidence in even the simplest decisions. This is the undeniable evidence of your perfect alignment. What comes next? One final sacred step remains, not another preparation, not another declaration, but a seal. The final indelible confirmation that what has begun will not collapse, will not dissipate. It is the ultimate anchoring. You have arrived, my friend, at the sacred closing point of this profound journey. Yet this is not an ending. What has meticulously unfolded through these transformative moments is not a temporary lift or a fleeting emotional surge. It is in its essence a seal. A seal does not create something entirely new. It majestically confirms what has already been irrevocably established. And what has been established within you is an unshakable clarity, a perfect alignment, a decisive movement, a graceful reception, and an emerging solid stability. This final powerful part exists to anchor these monumental changes, ensuring they remain steadfast and true throughout the tapestry of your life. Why is this final seal not just necessary, but absolutely indispensable? Many financial improvements, though they begin with great promise, slowly fade into the shadows because they lack this crucial grounding. Without this final potent seal, old self-sabotaging patterns relentlessly attempt to return. Ancient fears, like subtle predators, look for any tiny opening to reclaim their territory. Old habits, insidious and persistent, try to reassert their tyrannical control. A seal, my friend, decisively closes those openings. It does not absolve you of responsibility. It profoundly strengthens your capacity to embrace it. It does not promise that challenges will never appear on your horizon season. It ensures with unwavering certainty that those challenges will no longer control your direction, your destiny. Understanding continuity is paramount. Continuity is not merely about constant, unchecked growth. It is about consistent, unwavering stability. It is the inherent ability to move forward without succumbing to panic when pressure inevitably appears. It is the wisdom to manage your resources without fear even when income fluctuates like the tides. Continuity is the profound, unshakable peace that remains steadfast and true during moments of uncertainty. This, my friend, is what we now seal. The final prayer of sealing. Pause for a sacred moment. Allow your breathing to deepen and settle like a tranquil river. Allow your posture to belly like releasing all lingering tension. Now speak these words with the deepest intention of your soul. I acknowledge the profound work that has been meticulously done within me. I acknowledge the radiant clarity that has decisively replaced confusion. I acknowledge the powerful movement that has unequivocally replaced hesitation. I seal these magnificent changes now deeply within my mind, firmly within my habits, and decisively within all my future decisions. I declare with absolute authority that fear no longer possesses any authority over my financial direction. I declare that unwavering wisdom guides my actions consistently, perfectly. I remain steady, unshakable during every challenge. I remain grounded, unshaken during every phase of growth. Sealing stability requires a powerful commitment to responsibility, not to unattainable perfection. Now, pray with unwavering focus. God of infinite order and boundless provision, I ask with profound reverence that the stability now forming in my life be eternally protected. Protect my decisions from impulse and rashness. Protect my thoughts from fear-based patterns and old narratives. Protect my actions from falling back into old limiting cycles. Teach me, I pray, to manage with profound wisdom all that I receive. Teach me to respond with grace and wisdom when pressure inevitably arises. Let my growth be sustainable, unwavering. Let my peace be continuous, unending. This seal, my friend, lasts not because of external conditions, for they are ever-changing. This seal lasts because it is internal. Internal alignment, once established, remains. When alignment remains, your recovery from any setback is swifter. Your decisions are clearer, and setbacks themselves lose their power to derail you. This, my friend, is the fundamental difference between fleeting temporary relief and lasting profound transformation. Take a moment of quiet gratitude. Before you step forward, acknowledge this sacred moment. Not everything is perfectly finished. No. But something profound, something truly miraculous, has fundamentally changed. Now, speak gratitude without urgency, letting it fill your being. I am deeply grateful for the radiant clarity that has returned. I am deeply grateful for the undeniable progress that has begun. I am deeply grateful for the profound peace that is now irrevocably returning to my life. I implicitly trust the process that is now unfolding. I remain patient, attentive, and fully present. The role of continued practice is vital. This journey is not a one-time event to be completed and forgotten. Repetition strengthens stability, like the steady construction of a magnificent edifice. Returning to these moments of profound reflection reinforces your alignment, cementing it deep within your being. Returning to prayer maintains your pristine clarity. Your growth, my friend, will deepen exponentially as your practice continues, becoming a wellspring of constant renewal. As you conclude this powerful experience, a gentle invitation extends to you. If these prayers, these insights, have brought a profound sense of calm, a brilliant clarity, or a new direction into your life, consider staying connected. This space exists as a sanctuary, designed to support your consistency, never to pressure you. By joining our community of like-minded individuals, our family of faith, by simply tapping that subscribe button, you grant yourself access to ongoing moments of grounding, of profound reflection, and of perfect alignment, always focused on cultivating an unshakable financial peace and receiving responsible, abundant provision. There is no obligation, only an open, heartfelt invitation. Sometimes true stability is built simply and powerfully by consistently returning to the right place at the right time with the right intention. Progress is always easier to sustain when you are not isolated, when you know there are others walking a similar transformative path alongside you. This shared intention, this collective energy strengthens your discipline and helps prevent those insidious old patterns from subtly creeping back in unnoticed. This is why this community, this family exists here for you. As you leave this sacred moment, carry this profound understanding with you. You are not waiting for external permission. You are not passively awaiting a miraculous rescue. You are actively participating in the creation of your own unwavering stability, armed with newfound clarity and profound wisdom. Challenges may indeed appear, but they will no longer overwhelm you. Opportunities may arrive quietly, subtly, but you, in your heightened awareness, will unmistakably recognize them. Now, a final potent affirmation. Speak this affirmation calmly, but with unshakable conviction. I move forward with unwavering steadiness. I manage my resources with profound wisdom. I respond to change with crystal clarity. I remain open, expansive without fear. I remain disciplined, focused without pressure. What has begun within me now gloriously continues. This journey does not end here. It continues profoundly in your daily choices, in your calm decisions, and in your consistent, unwavering alignment. Return when you need grounding, when clarity feels distant, when stability needs reinforcement. And if you choose to stay connected, know that you are deeply, unconditionally welcome here. May profound peace eternally guide your decisions. May unwavering wisdom strengthen your every step. May abundant provision remain steadfast and flowing in every aspect of your magnificent life. This seal is complete.